in the fight against racism and for equality. By the Ukrainian Zinchenko. Early moment, early goal, and Gabriel Jesus heads home with barely 2 minutes on the clock. His drought in front of goal is over. Arsenal's gloom deepens.
Well, incredible, isn't it, to get a free header a couple of yards from goal. Gabriel, Mustafi stare at each other. Who was marking him? Who was responsible?
Gabriel back from his ban, going into...
It'd be so easy for Arsenal in their present mood and form.
It's looking ominous for Arsenal, promising for Manchester City. It's whistled wide by Fernandinho.
Yeah, already you see shoulders dropping amongst the home team here. A lack of intensity without the ball.
In the last round of this competition on penalties, beat Chelsea.
Well, they're going to have a lot of the ball tonight. And
all of those in the Europa League. They're in the Carabao, scoring for City. In by Ceballos, Lacazette puts it behind.
Yeah,
sliding it in tidily for his companion. Charles Cancelo. It's good improvisation. Cancelo. Mahrez. Block. In by Mahrez. Just wide. Aymeric Laporte, the man to meet it for Manchester City.
Well, there's 3 red.
Scorer of the goal, seeking a second. El Neni, a wild lunge. Stewart. Oh, the wall was well enough constructed. Runeson's come a long way. In it comes from Cancelo. Over it goes from Rodri. A little bit of pushing and shoving in there. If you missed it earlier, there's no VAR involved at this stage of the Carabao Cup, so Stuart Atwell will have to pick the bones out of this one in the traditional manner.
Certainly not nice for him to watch from that touchline. He's a really talented lad, somebody who can play in that number 10.
With Martinelli inviting over Willock's head and into the back of the net from Alex Lacazette. Against the run of play, most certainly. But Alex Lacazette has levelled it up for Arsenal.
I'll tell you what, Martinelli has led the fight here for Arsenal. If anything threatening has happened, it's been Martinelli, the teenager. Even he was surprised about that. It wasn't...
I think he knows the team sheet's the wrong way around. Mahrez, neat combination, Foden, it's Jesus, and Runeson with a magnificent save. And Jesus came onto that for all the world. It looked like City were back in front.
Yeah, you'd have fancied him, but Runeson needed that.
Himself onside. Stefan got there first, but only just. Now that looked pretty clear handball.
Such a close run thing that. Martinelli's come off worse, but he was millimetres away from getting a toe on this ahead of...
Chase here for Joe Willock. And that will be one. And he went for the sprint, then he pulled up slightly, and Stuart Atwell brings a half of 2 halves to an end. Manchester City so rearranged final at the end of April rather than at the end of February. Half-time assessed it. He'd have said I want a few more minutes out there, but managers were on the same side. Sergio Aguero getting his the first half. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez, Runeson through his gloves into the back of the net. A desperate moment for Arsenal's number 2 goalkeeper, and goal number 2 for Manchester City.
Well, just when everybody's thinking he's going to whip one over that wall, he goes the keeper's side. He's got his body behind it, he's got his hands behind it, Runeson, but...
On yet another place in the semi-final, and Foden finishes absolutely beautifully. A delight of a touch, and the road to Wembley is looking assured for Manchester City again, as they close in on a place in the semi-finals.
Well, he hasn't played a big part in this match, Phil Foden, in the way that he has so often in a City shirt, but he's shown his quality here with that touch. Travelling.
He's going to have to wait a little.
Important that
against Fulham. Inviting from Cancelo. Maybe Ferran Torres. They both come back from Smith Rowe into Lacazette into the side netting.
Well, that was an example of Smith Rowe's abilities. He knew he was in a bit of space, he could turn, and it was a cute little pass into Lacazette's path.
Oh, he's lost Gabriel for dead. And from where we are, looked like it might have been an interesting shout for a penalty, but Stuart Atwell much closer, waved it away.
Yeah, difficult one this for Gabriel. He gets caught square on.
That's a delightful ball in, and Manchester City have another. Phil Foden puts it on a plate for Aymeric Laporte. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 4. It's becoming a procession at the Emirates.
Yeah, such was the quality of the cross. I mean, those City shirts are moving forward. The red and white ones.
Throw. Lacazette lurking at the far post.